Our topic is Foreign Aid Spending by Haley Kara and Carly Wise. We will now be introducing our topic.
Why is foreign aid spending a topic people are concerned about? Well, people are concerned where their money is going and what it is being spent on. People are also concerned how this will affect the U.S. economy and them directly. Recently, President Biden rescinded a regulation that barred U.S. foreign aid from being used to perform or promote abortions. This action was applauded by the pro-choice community and infuriating to the pro-life community. A current event besides Biden's rescinded regulation is a discussion about removing the Pentagon from foreign aid, which comes from the article Opinion. It's time to get the Pentagon out of the business of administrating U.S. foreign aid, published March 11, 2021 by Max Bergman, who is a senior position at the Center for American Progress. He served as a senior advisor in the State Department from 2011 to 2017. Along with Bergman, Alexandra Schmidt is a senior policy analyst at the Center for American Progress, who co-wrote this piece. We'll be reviewing past and current laws. As the Cold War developed, the two superpowers and their allies would use aid to encourage political allegiances, which led to the creation of the Foreign Aid Assistance Act of 1963, created under Kennedy's presidency. The 1961 Act sought to organize and implement U.S. foreign assistance programs with a commitment to long-range economic assistance to the developing world. The 1961 Act led to more foreign assistance acts, some of which added to the 1961 Act. The Foreign Assistance Act of 1973 adds to the Foreign Assistance Act of 1961 a statement of policy regarding developmental assistance authorizations. The Act authorizes appropriations for fiscal years 1974 and 1975 for food and nutrition, population planning and health, education and human resource development, selected developmental programs, selected countries and organizations. With this act, the President shall seek the establishment of a single group for the purpose of providing a program of review and evaluation of the activities of such organizations. It is also authorizing the President to furnish assistance for relief and reconstruction of South Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos, along with stating no aid will be used for or on prison construction or administration of such, police training, or abortions performed. This act also extends coverage under the Foreign Service Retirement and Disability System to specified categories of personnel, including Foreign Reserve officers. Foreign assistance was touched upon after the 1970s with the Foreign Assistance and Related Programs Appropriations Act of 1982. This act prohibits use of any of the funds appropriated for voluntary population planning programs for the World Health Organization's Special Program of Research, Development, and Research Training in Human Reproduction. It prohibits using any of the funds appropriated for the Economic Support Fund for the Special Retirements Fund, makes certain Polish currencies held by the United States available for use in Poland to serve U.S. interests. It appropriates fiscal year 1982 funds for the Peace Corps. It appropriates fiscal year 1982 funds to the Department of State for Migration and Refugee Assistance. And it marks a specified amount of such funds for aid for refugees and displaced persons in Africa, limits the amount of such funds available for the administration expenses of the State Department's Office of Refugee Programs, prohibits using appropriated funds for lobbying for abortion. Coming into the 21st century, the Foreign Assistance Revitalization and Accountability Act of 2009 states that in U.S. policy to redefine the foreign assistance architecture and strengthen the capacity of the United States Agency for International Development, also known as USAID, and related agencies to establish development policies and implement innovative and effective foreign assistance program. It also establishes the Bureau of Office for Learning, Evaluation, and Analysis and Development, which shall develop the complete range of activities relating to resource monitoring and project evaluation and analysis, design a strategy for strengthening evaluation and research for foreign assistance programs, along with develop an information clearinghouse capacity, and partner with academic and national and international institutions. Establish the Council on Research and Evaluation Foreign Assistance Advisory Board, directs the President to require all federal departments and agencies to make publicly available on their website comprehensive and accessible information on U.S. foreign assistance in the program-by-program and country-by-country basis. Before Biden removed the regulation on not allowing aid to be used on or regarding abortions, the Protecting Life and Foreign Assistance Act 2019 and 2020 prohibits funding to certain foreign or domestic organizations that perform or promote abortions, furnish or develop items intended to procure abortions, or provide financial support for an entity that conducts such activities.
And we will now be talking about how countries approach this issue. There are 30 countries, including the U.S., that are in DAC. DAC is the Development Assistance Committee, is a forum to discuss issues surrounding aid, development, and poverty reduction in developing countries. DAC refers to itself as the venue and voice of the world's major donor countries. The donating countries in DAC include Austria, Australia, Belgium, Canada, Czech Republic, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Hungary, Iceland, Ireland, Japan, Italy, Korea, Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, the UK, Slovenia, Slovak Republic, Luxembourg, and European Union. There is a set target for the countries that participate in DAC with spending 0.07% of their GNI, which is gross national income, on international aid. Only 5 of the listed countries met the 0.07 target in 2017. The 5 countries were Sweden with 1.02%, Luxembourg with 1%, Norway with 0.99%, Denmark with 0.74%, and the United Kingdom with 0.70%.
We have also decided to list the U.S. and other countries' spent amount on foreign aid in 2017. You can pause here and read if you would like to, or you can continue on.
There are also historical events that relate to this topic, which are in 2018, as the Democratic Republic of Congo experienced a mass outbreak of the Ebola virus, USAID sent humanitarian assistance in the form of medical experts to help doctors on the ground contain the disease and money to finance their efforts. Also, in 2016, USAID focused on providing economic development aid to Bangladesh by partnering with local banks to give loans to low-income farmers to build their businesses. Lastly, in 2014, following years of accusations in election corruption in Georgia, USAID sent targeted political development aid to local organizations there to train and deploy election monitors.
Now, there are pro arguments and there are con arguments for foreign aid spending. This is what the pro arguments typically are. U.S. foreign aid budget is less than 1% of the total budget. $3 million goes toward foreign aid, while around $663 billion goes to military spending. It does work, for instance, with the help of foreign aid between 2000 and 2014. U.S. foreign aid spending on child health has saved lives of around
3.3 million lives.
Foreign aid helps rebuild countries after national disasters, and it benefits the U.S. diplomatic relations. Countries that once have received foreign aid conduct trade and business with the U.S., for instance, South Korea, Brazil, Mexico, Vietnam, and Thailand. The PEPFAR program has helped stop the spread of AIDS by supplying life-saving medicines. Now that we have talked about the pro arguments, we will talk about the con arguments. Corruption may lead to local politicians using aid for their own means of political gain. Aid may not reach the people who need it most. Examples of countries where foreign aid basically supported corrupt regimes that inflicted misery over the population include Zaire, Rwanda, Ethiopia, and Somalia. Foreign support may only benefit large-scale agricultural projects and not the less privileged small farmers who need the help the most. Less economically developed countries may become increasingly dependent on donor countries and become heavily indebted. Inflation, which causes prices of commodities to increase, making the poor more deprived. Why focus on other countries instead of our own country? Conflict and interferes with the free market. Does not work. Americans believe that foreign aid budget is 25% of the total federal government budget.
I will now be identifying the view as leaning liberal using the Democratic 2020 platform for reference. Democrats argue that promoting global development remains in the U.S. national interest. The Democratic platform has dropped a commitment from 2008 to modernize the U.S. foreign aid program through an elevated, empowered, consolidated, and streamlined U.S. development agency. I will now be identifying the view as leaning conservative using the Republican 2020 platform for reference. Republicans believe that foreign assistance should be seen as an alternative means of keeping the peace, less costly than the military. Also, people argue that the most official development assistance is based on an outdated model that reveals corruption and mismanagement.
Here's the first of our reference lists that we have used. There are links that you can follow if you would like to look more into this topic.